In the year 1865, right after the big war called the Civil War, there's a man named Thomas Gates and his son Charles Carroll Gates. One day, two mysterious men, John Wilkes Booth and Michael O'Laughlin, come to see them. These two are part of a secret group called the Knights of the Golden Circle. They have a special job for Thomas because he's really good at solving puzzles. They give him a coded message, a secret code from Booth's diary, and ask him to figure it out. While Booth hurries off with a dark plan to harm President Abraham Lincoln, O'Laughlin stays behind to watch Thomas work. Thomas quickly realizes the coded message isn't just any message, it's a treasure map leading to a legendary treasure city called Cíbola, the City of Gold. But then, chaos breaks out in the streets. News spreads that President Lincoln has been attacked. At this moment, Thomas understands that Booth and O'Laughlin haven't given up their loyalty to the South. He acts fast, ripping out the diary pages with the map and throwing them into the fire. O'Laughlin tries to stop him and save the pages, but he only grabs a piece of one page before he has to run away. With his last bit of strength, Thomas tells his son Charles something mysterious: the debt that all men pay. This leaves Charles with a big puzzle to solve, not just about the treasure, but about what his father meant with those final words. Jump forward 140 years to today, and we meet Benjamin Gates, who is the great-great-grandson of Thomas Gates. Benjamin, or Ben as his friends call him, is speaking at a conference about civilian heroes. He's there to clear his family's name by telling the story of his ancestor, Thomas. While Ben is sharing this tale, a man named Mitch Wilkinson shows up. Mitch is known for dealing in the black market, and he brings with him a piece of a diary page. This isn't just any page. It's the one that Thomas Gates didn't burn, and it suggests Thomas might have been involved with Booth and the plot against President Lincoln. Ben can't let this stand. He decides he must solve the mystery hidden in this old diary page to prove his ancestor was a hero, not a villain. The FBI's special agent Sadusky is also there, and he's suspicious. Why would a black market dealer like Mitch suddenly show up with such an important piece of history? It doesn't add up. Meanwhile, Ben's friend Riley Poole, who knows a lot about technology, is having a rough day. His fancy car, a Ferrari, just got taken away because he was handing out books about government conspiracies. Ben and Riley get together to crack the code on the diary page. They discover it mentions the Laboulaye Lady. They figure out this clue is pointing them to a small model of the Statue of Liberty in Paris on the Ile aux Cygnes. It's here they find an inscription hidden by Thomas Gates himself. This new clue leads them to two very special desks known as the Resolute Desks. One is tucked away in the Queen's chambers in Buckingham Palace, and the other sits in the Oval Office of the White House. Ben Gates is deep into a thrilling mystery, but he doesn't know that Mitch Wilkinson is hot on his trail, using a sneaky trick. Mitch has cloned Ben's dad, Patrick's, cell phone to listen in on their plans. Over in London, Ben gets a surprise helper, his ex-girlfriend Abigail Chase, sent by his dad to lend a hand. Together, they manage to slip into the Queen's private quarters, where they find that the famous Resolute desk is more than just a piece of furniture. It's actually a clever puzzle box. Inside, they discover a very old wooden plank covered in strange symbols that nobody can read. Ben quickly snaps some photos of the mysterious plank, but just as they do, Mitch and his team show up, sparking a wild car chase through the streets of London. Mitch manages to steal the plank right from under Ben's nose. Back to the drawing board, Patrick tells Ben that this plank could lead them to Cíbola, the legendary City of Gold. History buffs know that explorers have been chasing after Cíbola since 1527, but it's always remained just out of reach. Determined to crack the code, Ben pulls his family into the adventure. They decide to meet with Dr. Emily Appleton, who happens to be Ben's mom and Patrick's ex-wife. Emily studies the hieroglyphics and figures out part of the message, but she's certain it's not complete. Needing another clue, Abigail pulls some strings with her current boyfriend Connor, who works at the White House. He sneaks Ben into the Oval Office, hoping the other Resolute desk will hold more secrets. But when Ben checks the desk, he finds nothing but a mysterious symbol, an eagle holding a scroll. This symbol hints at the legendary Book of Secrets, a book that Riley, Ben's tech-savvy friend, believes is real. According to Riley, this book holds answers to some of the biggest mysteries, like the missing minutes from the Watergate scandal, secrets about the Apollo moon landings, and even the truth behind the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The problem? Only the current president is supposed to know where this book is hidden. Ben Gates has a big plan for the president's birthday party. It's held at Mount Vernon, and Ben uses this as a chance to speak to the president alone. He lures the president into some old tunnels and blocks the entrance so no one else can come in. Ben needs to talk to him about a very secret book called the Book of Secrets. I might. The president isn't happy about being trapped, and he tells Ben he could get in trouble for kidnapping, but he also understands why Ben is doing all this. So he tells Ben where to find the book. It's hidden in the Library of Congress. With this new clue, Ben, along with Abigail and Riley, hurry to the library to find the book. But as they search, the FBI, led by Special Agent Sadusky, surrounds the place. Inside the book, they uncover something amazing. A past president, Calvin Coolidge, had found the other half of the mysterious plank back in 1924. He even took a picture of it before he destroyed it. Why destroy it? Because it showed the way to Cíbola, the city of gold. Coolidge didn't want anyone to find it, so he ordered a huge sculpture, Mount Rushmore, to be carved to hide the landmark shown on the plank. As Ben's team sneaks away from the FBI, he sends a photo of the plank to his dad, Patrick, hoping Patrick can get Emily, Ben's mom, to help decode it. But what Ben doesn't know is that Mitch, their enemy, is already one step ahead. He intercepts the message and is waiting for Patrick. When Emily sees the message, she realizes she has to be clever. She lies to Patrick about what the inscription means, but manages to give him a secret hint that she's not telling the truth. Ben Gates, along with his dad Patrick, his ex-girlfriend Abigail, and his tech-savvy friend Riley, head to Mount Rushmore, ready for a showdown with their rival Mitch. But when they arrive, they find a twist. Mitch has taken Emily, Ben's mom, hostage. He's using her to make sure Ben cooperates as they follow the clues from an old letter written by Queen Victoria to a Confederate general named Albert Pike. Determined to find the hidden entrance, Ben leads the group through Mount Rushmore. They navigate through tricky traps and finally discover the legendary underground city of Cíbola, the City of Gold. But their excitement quickly turns to danger as they accidentally trigger a flood, causing water from a lake above to rush into the cave. Faced with a life-threatening situation, they find a drainage door that's their only way out. But there's a catch. The door has to be held open from one side, meaning whoever does it will be trapped inside as the others escape. Mitch forces Ben to be the one to stay behind. But, in a dramatic turn of events, a surge of water pushes Mitch into the position of holding the door. Realizing the weight of his actions, Mitch apologizes to Ben for all the trouble he's caused. He asks that his name be remembered as part of the discovery of this ancient city. With Mitch holding the door, Ben and the rest of the group make their escape to safety. Ben and his friends, fresh from their adventure, are greeted by Special Agent Sadusky and taken to a nearby military base. To their relief, the president himself clears Ben of any wrongdoing, saying that Ben actually rescued him after they were accidentally trapped in the tunnel. Sometime later, the world hears the big news. Cíbola, the legendary city of gold, has been found. Ben, his team, and even Mitch are celebrated for this incredible discovery. Thanks to their efforts, Thomas Gates, Ben's ancestor, is officially declared a hero of the Civil War. Life seems to get better for everyone involved. Patrick and Emily, Ben's parents, happily join forces to study Cíbola once the water is pumped out of the city. Meanwhile, back at Mount Rushmore, Ben and Abigail find their way back to each other, mending their once broken relationship. Riley, the gadget guy of the group, gets a special surprise too. The president gives him his fancy Ferrari back and he doesn't have to pay any taxes on it. But the adventure isn't completely over. In a mysterious final twist, the president hands Ben a secret task. He asks him to look into something curious on page 47 of the Book of Secrets. What could possibly be on that page? The story leaves us hanging, ready for another mystery.